Hi, my name is Henry Lee of blueheronarts.com. I'm now at my backyard. It's the late spring here in Southern California. Our plum blossom, or precisely our Japanese quince flower, bloom for the second time this year. You can see from the camera in my background, they're blooming flowers on the branches. I think basically the flower with 5 petals are the same way to paint. So for us, it's generally plum blossom. And when we do a painting outside, the difference is we get more into the mood or the feeling of painting. If you don't have this kind of feeling, you need to develop it before you paint. And the best way doing that is to go outside, look at the real flowers. Also, you can read ancient poems like the Tan poem or classical Chinese poems in other historical periods. And when I look at the branches, thinking of a poem, this line fits the best. It says, the plum blossom bloom ahead of 1,000 flowers, or hundreds of flowers. 且向百花头上开. So the first in the spring. So when I have this kind of idea in mind, it would require some kind of style that to express that feeling. So obviously, I will do a vertical, a tall composition instead of horizontal one to reflect the in Chinese head of literally 头上 means above the head of others, ahead of other flowers. So it's kind of tall branch. So I do the flower first. You can do the branch if you will, but when you have the whole picture in mind, you can start from anywhere. I use some colors here, the Chinese white and rouge and some carmine. I use the white with carmine first to get a light pink, dilute it with some water. This is a pure goat hair brush. You can use a combination brush also in the basic set. So a little bit rouge without blending on the front of the brush. The side view. And also the back view. I leave some space for the branches. Do the bud is more important in plum blossom to indicate the early spring feeling. They come in pairs, but not exactly the same direction. And you also need to group them, so some part is dense than the other. Okay. Now I change the brush to a stiff brush, or wolf hair brush, to do the branches. I soak the brush with water, and then I put some ink, a little bit ink to the front of the brush, and then squeeze it, make sure it's not too wet. You can do the branches from bottom up or from top down. I usually do it from the bottom up. Start like a nail head, so it's firm, and end like a rat tail. You have to summarize it, not to do exactly what you see, but more what you feel. So simplify it. It's very important. You can add more flowers later. Okay, here a decision to make where to start. You can start on the right hand side or on the bottom. It all depends on the gesture, of the movement you feel. So I think a movement from here is more what I think. And since I cannot find a really old trunk, so I would borrow a thing from the garden, from a different tree, but with the inspiration. The fig tree in the back, where they got knots in the holes in the trunk. This is what attract me, and this is often seen on trimmed trunk like a plum. So I would do the knot, the hole first. You can do a little circle, but not round. Then wash the inside just like that with a big stroke. Another side view. It's interesting. They formed over the years. So the bark surround the hole, form a interesting eye, we would call, on the trunk. Gives the tree age, sense of age, and the spirit. So you can see the ink is very interesting with different tones, and the wet and the dry, different strokes. Very to vary the ink. All you need to do is to exhaust the load before you reload, so you got all the variations. To break ink means to add more in different tone, usually dark into light, or water or light into dark. When the dark brush gets dry, I just add water to become light. The trunk should not be complete. You should leave break, so the flowers and the branches is in front of the major trunk. See, this is a very interesting. There is dry and wet variations over in the stroke, and So we will continue after this front branch. And if one stroke is not enough, add another. So it's like boxing or fisting. You add another blow if not, if the first one doesn't land. So just repeat a little bit. It would form interesting texture also. I also will borrow some other things then from other branches. Like these ones in front of easel. So we have to be very selective, not just paint what you exactly see. You need to select what you have, the best. To make a crossing, always avoid some X and parallel lines. That should be the main branch, so the other ones should be subordinate. So not two tips are the same. You can increase that one to make it major. So let's do that. Look it towards the sky. Because it dries so fast, I need to dot the calyx right away. Otherwise, it will be too late. I use a little bit rouge with ink mix. It's a small whistle brush. The flowers should be a little bit away from the branch, and use the stem to connect it. The calyx and stem connect it. Let's put back here. If this is the beginning of the tree, the composition, this is the develop or extension, continuation of the trend towards the right. Then we need to have a turning right here to change directions, and then ending. Okay, now add more branch. Complete the make some part more dense is very important. So we need to create a dense and a sparse contrast. So we make this part dense contrast with the trick in the above. the mask dots. Okay. Leave some space in between the branches for flowers. We don't do the flowers first. You need to save some space for flowers. So otherwise, all the flowers will be behind the branch. Okay. This one, we need to add some more tricks to make it complete. So you can follow the tendency on the left-hand side, or another direction on this side. So then to take some risk. Sometimes you don't have to think too close to the. Just make it small so you will not interfere with the main branch you already have. This is another dance area. So in addition to this area would be dance. So we also need to have some long, straight branches, as you can see in the actual tree. There's no flowers on it. We call it 气条, the energy branch. Just the straight lines without flowers on it. Now I'm change back to the soft brush and use double load. A little bit roots. More flowers to this area. So pay more attention on the grouping, the shape of the group instead of individual flowers only. So you can start more or less in a group manner. Just impressionistically, just use up the color in the brush. You got all the variation in wet and dry also. Dark and the light will come out. I know that because if you keep going, my bottom, the brush heel is white, so it will come lighter naturally. So just impressionistic.